Greetings, Opals users. In this tutorial, I'll be covering how to catalog an item that is not found using Z-import, also called original cataloging. Before I begin, if you have any questions or would like some tech support, please call 877-331-1022 and ask for tech support, or email support@opalsinfo.net. Let's begin. You'll start with the Item tab, go to the Mark Editor. First off, the empty template. Never delete it, renumber it, rename it, just pretty much leave it as it is. That's the gateway for Z-import records. On your Opal site, it might just say number 2, Books. I've added some extra fields to my template so I don't have to add them each time I catalog an original. So you'll start by putting a check mark next to Books, New Record, not Edit Template, unless you're editing a template. But for cataloging a book where you didn't find it, just start with a check mark next to the Books, New Record. You'll go down to the bibliographic record, which is used, and all the information is for your students, teachers, members of your library to find books in your system. If you have a scanner on the same machine that you're cataloging, you can scan the ISBN number off of relatively new books. We'll have them on the back of the book, lower right corner. Or you could type it in if you don't have a scanner. The 040, don't need it, leave it alone, forget about it. The 100 personal name main entry, it's always last name, comma, space, first name. Excuse me. The title. My title is 101 Ways to Catalog an Original Record. The remainder of the title, usually after the colon on the cover of the title, where to start. Statement of responsibility, you don't need that. It's not critical. You could put by John Smith or something like that. The 246, it's a very good field. You'll see that my book on the cover, on the title page, has 101 ways. The 246, you can spell out, somebody might search using numbers, another person might search using spelling it out, 101 ways. So that's what the 246 is often used for. The 260, the place of publication, New York, New York, St. Louis, Albuquerque, Santa Fe, etc. The publisher's name, and the publication date. The 300 is the physical description. The pagination, it's nice to put in if there's graphs, charts, illustrations, color photos, whatever it might be, you can put it in here. The dimensions, not critical. It's done metric. And if this was 22.5, if I used a metric ruler, I would always move it up to 23 centimeters. If you don't put in the dimensions, it's not the end of the world, unless your patrons of your library search for books by size, which I doubt. The 336, forget about it. 337, don't need it. 338, don't need it. The 500 is a general note, oftentimes something like signed by author, cover title, or spine title. Cover title means the title on the cover is shortened because it's maybe some artwork on the cover, so it's not the full title. Spine title means that on the spine of the book, it's not the full title for some reason, and that's why catalogers might put cover title or spine title. It's not critical. The 504 is the bibliography or index note. Bibliography, page 234, and index, something like that. The 505 is often used for books like 10 great short stories, 10 great poems, where you could list each poem or each short story, and they would be indexed. So if you were cataloging the works of Edgar Allan Poe, you could put in Telltale Heart, The Raven, whatever it might be, and they would be searchable within the anthology. If you need any help with that, again, get a hold of us. We'll help you out with the 505 contents note. 520, summary note. Oftentimes you can get a summary even from Amazon although oftentimes Amazon has kind of a sales pitch. I have another video that I can send out showing tools if you need to get summaries or off the back of a book. You can type in a summary. All the words are in the summary are indexed, so it's not a bad thing to have, although it's not critical, but it does help your patrons know a bit about what the book is, and also the words are indexed so they could search certain words in a summary and find the book. Awards note would be Newbery Award, Caldecott, etc. 650s, those are subject headings, topics, World War II, Civil War, art, modern art, philosophy, history, things like that. 651 is a geographic name. Albuquerque, New Mexico. It's treating a place as a subject. So if my 101 ways of cataloging a book talked about New Mexico, I might put it in a 651. In the 650, by the way, I might even put in cataloging. So if someone didn't know the author, didn't know the title, and they wanted a book on cataloging, they would find it if I put it here. This would be a geographic name treated as a subject. The 690 is a very good field because you can put anything you want in it. The 650 and 51, those fields are driven by the Library of Congress, AACR2 type things. They typically conform to their rules. A 690 is a local subject heading. You can put anything you want there. Cataloging. Modern art. Oh, I can't type, sorry. So if this was a book, I'm laughing, sorry. If this was a book on cataloging and modern art and baseball, you could put them all on the same line. The 700 tag, that would be if there was an added author. The 100 tag up here, you can only have one author. Up here, the one with John Smith, okay? The 700 tag, that would either be an illustrator or additional author. If there was 5 authors, you would have one 100 field and 4 700 fields if you wanted to include all the added authors or illustrators. The 710, I have it here just so you know a bit about it. If it's a corporate author. So if I authored my 101 ways to catalog a book with the city of Albuquerque, I would put the city of Albuquerque here as a co-author. It's a 710 corporate author. So there you basically you'll fill in all your fields. And again, if you need any help, please contact us. Once you fill in the bib record, and remember, the more you put in, the more accessible the record is. So if I add modern art, baseball, cataloging, all those words, or put a summary in, it makes the book more accessible to your patrons when they search things like modern art or cataloging or baseball or whatever it might be. The more the subject headings or the notes you have, the more robust it is, and then people can find the book. The holding record represents what you have in your hand. You'll be putting in a G here. It'll be filled in, but G is the general collection or whatever item types you use. If you use prefixes, like I do, you might have a prefix, and that's driven by the Prefix Authority tool. If you have any questions about that, please contact us. H is where you would put something like F or FIC for FIC, or a Dewey number. The item part, subfield I, is where you would put the author's first 3 letters of the author's last name. So this might be a fiction book. Oops, hang on a second. Mistake. I'm going to use FIC here. And I would put in SMI for John Smith. I would put in the first 3 letters of the author's last name. And this is basically how it will be shelved on your shelving in the library. Call number suffix is often used for volume numbers, section numbers, things like that. The P is where you would put your barcode, and the subfield 9 is where you would put a price. Let me go back to the bib record. I just realized something, and it's important. A 490. Your book template should have a 490. If it doesn't, a 490 is a series title. People really know their series, and it's a good idea to have the series in the field somewhere in the MARC record, and that's the 490. I don't have a 490, so I'm going to the field above 500, put my cursor right here, add a data field, 490A, and then I would put my series title. Again, people like their series, and if you have it in there, it'll be part of the search, and it'll come up for your patrons. If the series has a number, you could add a subfield. And for this one, it's V, and maybe the series is this book in the series is number 23. You would put it in just like that. Finally, you can change the cover. You could either go out on Google and find the book cover, save it to your computer, and then to put the cover on, you will click Change Cover. Go to wherever your cover might be on your computer. I have images, and I'm going to add this as the book cover. I've found the book cover out there on the net, and I'm going to add that. Okay, I'm using a JPEG, and that would be my book cover. Again, you can find these on Google, and I have another video that's separate on tools for cataloging. There's a site called isbn.org that has many books in it, and they have very clear, very good covers. Sometimes Amazon covers has their logo on it, and you wouldn't want that. So that's how I changed the cover. And then when you're all done filling out the bib record, the holding record, you will click Save. I hope this video helps.